What's up, everybody? My name is Mitchell Dyer. I am sitting here with Vince Ingenito.
Hi, everyone.
Vince, you and I are big Metal Gear guys.
We sure are.
We love this game. This is the first look at Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know if it's Phantom Pain. I'm pretty sure this is Ground Zeroes.
This is Ground Zeroes.
All right, so this is the prologue. I saw a nighttime version of this running on current gen. This is the next-gen equivalent from TGS. So this is basically, we've all seen the trailer for like the nighttime infiltration into the American camp.
Right, we sure
This
have.
is a new approach. Snake is in the back of a truck. He just hopped in. And now he's just bombing around as this dude's doing his laps, and he's going in for the infiltration.
Yeah, and it's broad daylight, so you really get that strong sense of, like, wow, I can get seen at any moment from anywhere.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the way to show off the next-gen version. Is look at all these crazy shadows we can do in daytime. So something I want to point out here, Vince, this is the hilariously named iDroid device.
I wonder where they could possibly have gotten their inspiration from, Mitch.
Right, and my favorite thing about it is I think we're in, like, the 70s. We're a little bit after Peace Walker in the timeline, and this dude is just busting out, like, this space machine that is, like, a total perfectly good bird's eye view of this thing after he pulls out like what looks like a car starter.
Like if anyone on like the planet in this like timeline right now saw this, they would have a heart attack.
Freak out.
They'd have a heart attack on the spot.
Yeah, and it looks like at the bottom there you can change some variables. I don't know, like the triangle button, is that something to do with like field of view? Turn that on and off to know where the guys are looking, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what those are going to be for, but one thing I do think that the big reason we have this is because, again, speaking to how open the world is and how we're in broad daylight, they need some way to keep you informed of what's going on around you and make it easy for you to know what's happening. Otherwise, you'd just be getting seen all the time, not knowing why.
Visual language, not exactly Metal Gear Solid's strong suit.
No, definitely not.
So we'll shuffle through this. You can change. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, you hit L1 to change the kind of view, like Google Maps style. And he's trying to get a view of the site, but he's going to sneak in. We'll shuffle forward a little bit because walking is really boring. So he's going up, and this is actually this game has a fierce lock-on system. I'm noticing. So he's locked on, and he's barely aiming at this dude, and he's like, "All right, down you go."
Yeah,
like,
easy peasy.
Yeah,
lemon squeezy. But you know, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that. I think they're trying to streamline a lot of the gameplay mechanics in this version, mostly because I think they want to make the focus on decision-making and thoughts and ideas about how you apply the different techniques rather than the technical difficulty of applying those techniques.
Right, and there's so much space in this. I mean, it is an open-world game. This is Ground Zeroes is just one space. This is the American camp, as far as we know. And like we said at the beginning, he took this totally other route in as opposed to coming in from the hills on the opposite side. And now he's taking this in a totally different way than anyone has seen before. And it just gives you an idea of kind of the flexibility of the stealth that they're going for.
Yeah, and we're gonna see another little. Well, I think several times throughout this demo, we're gonna point out some pages that are ripped out of the Splinter Cell playbook, and we're about to see one that I'm really actually excited about.
This is classic Splinter Cell right here, right? Like, you've always been able to grab guys and kind of threaten them, but here it's more of a literal sense of what you're going for. Like, you can press one button to talk to him, that's the far left. In the middle, you can just KO, or you can knock him out.
Right, and that one on the far left. Yeah, and that one on the left is the real new moneymaker, right? Because that's how we interrogate people for information.
Right, like Chaos Theory had this really interesting system where you could just grab guys and figure out if they had information by repeatedly talking to them.
Yep.
Whereas Metal Gear was, you'd put a knife to someone's throat and they'd shake and give you a ration or whatever, right? Like it was very rarely about information, where this seems to be very heavily leaning toward that.
Although as much as I think this is more realistic and believable and probably more functional, I do really hope that there's a way that you can make guards do the shimmy and make rations pop out of them.
You'll just point a gun at their junk. Also very Splinter Cell. And again, like we know that Metal Gear has always had moving bodies, but in this sense, it's you're hiding it in the shadows, you're carrying it on your shoulder. Very Sam Fisher.
And yeah, very Sam Fisher. And again, like I think a word they used all the time when they were talking about Blacklist is they wanted him to feel like a panther, like he's fast and he's ferocious. And already you can tell
that's super present here.
That's super present here. Like even when he was picking up the body, it wasn't this slow, laborious. It was very quick.
He's a very strong man, Vince.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get a good look at that a few times as well throughout the whole. The concept of Sam Fisher as a panther is very present here with, with our man Big Boss.
Yeah, Big Boss got those video game muscles.
So what he did there on the map is he marked his target, which is this giant guard tower.
Yes.
And he sneaked up. You can see the mark. Oh, my God, it's a tank hide in plain sight. This is actually something I really like here. The classic Uncharted style, Sam Fisher style now, takedown from cover. We're going to see him stroll up to cover and just effortlessly grab a dude, knock him out over cover. Body is hidden. He's out cold. Good to go. You can move on.
I love that icon of like carrying the body. It looks like he's like gonna sit on him.
Right. What is that?
I
I was
don't
looking at
know.
that too.
It's like
What is that? He's like lifting a box on his back or something?
that implies some
Or is-
terrible things that I don't even think are okay to even talk about on this video.
Or he's carrying it forward and he's broken his legs. I don't know. They need to work on their UI a little, I think.
Or they need to not work on it mid-tire.
It's basically perfect. This is a new system as
Okay,
well, right?
yeah, this is important. So
Just to belabor the point, very Splinter Cell.
Very-
Very
so-
Tom Clancy. We've seen this in Rainbow Six, right?
Absolutely.
You look at a guy, Battlefield has it, you mark him. It's becoming a standard, so it's not... And
Right.
I don't want to keep saying it's Splinter Cell in a critical way. Like, I think that's really great.
right, and it's all about situational awareness and giving it to the players so they feel powerful and informed.
Yes. And this is another great improvement for me, I think. I love CQC and Metal Gear Solid 3.
Sure.
So being able to just roll up to this dude, slam him on the ground, and have the option to take this guy down, it's the... Peace Walker had this too, where you could chain together CQC.
Yeah, that's right. The Peace Walker had this system as well. A lot of little things, even marking your targets was something, an element in Peace Walker as
Sure.
well. So that's been incorporated. But yeah, we see like one of the big things they're doing is this dynamic CQC system, and you saw a first example of it there, where you do one takedown, and there's another guy nearby. You can chain to another takedown by pressing the L1 button again. And
Again,
you'll see
that
that in
lock-on
action
system
later.
is so
Yeah,
fierce.
it is really, really fierce.
Man, I hope you can turn that off.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see that. Like maybe for an initial run through as you get your bearings, it might be useful. But
Right.
But that's definitely the kind of thing that hardcore players are going to want to do without.
This is the objective in the TGS demo, and this is a specific demo for TGS where this demo debuted. He just grabbed a cassette tape and he's on his way out. The demo I saw, he was trying to find a red patch, like a Fox or
Right,
an
right.
XOF logo patch.
Right. We've seen that demo.
It's just meaningless stuff, right? Like it's just them showing what you can do.
Right now, here this is
yeah.
interesting now. So now what we're
Calling
seeing
the helicopter.
is we're showing the interface now for determining where the helicopter is going to come to extract you.
And you have certain points. You can see them. They're the red flashing dots.
Right.
You can only call chopper those LZs for various reasons. Where does he
Because you don't
call
want to
it?
break the game.
Yeah. I think is he calling it on the coast? No, he brings it in the
he
base. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
he's
has
just-
some ramifications later in this
Yeah,
demo.
yeah.
So this part we're about to see is very interesting. So he's kind of not aware. He's looking off into the distance, admiring the nice view, when all of a sudden,
Homeboy wakes up on the other
3,
side.
2,
Looks
1.
so red. Oh,
okay.
no.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So yeah, let's show that again. So you see, you have the Metal Gear Solid, the iconic, the exclamation point. You've just been seen.
Yep.
And now you can see the L1 prompt. You can press this, and now it's just going to snap you to where you're being seen from. And now
Yes.
you're in kind of like a almost, I hate to say it, Call of Duty-esque like breaching moment where it
Little bit.
slows down, and you have the opportunity to take this guy out before he, sounds the alarm on you.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot, and this is what I wrote about in my piece that I wrote about after I saw Ground Zeroes, was of mark and execute. Where
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
absolutely.
you mark guys, and then you have this moment where you can just take them down. And this is your opportunity. Like right now, he doesn't do it. He opts against it. He could just easily take him down.
Yeah,
there.
he had the shot right there. I
Yeah.
think just for the purposes of the demo.
Yeah,
he wanted
battery
to-
was out of ammo.
Right.
So he just runs around, and he's about to just beat this.
Another nice
snot out of this
CQC.
guy.
Wow, it's
look at
just
this.
so
This is
fast.
brutal. Look at this. Just
That is some
like,
Jason Bourne
right,
action right
just
there.
like non-stop punches to the chest, kicks him,
Yeah.
comes around the corner, and just keeps going.
Yeah, that is some
like just brutalizes
that is some
this guy.
Ip Man like stuff right there. I
One
like
more
it.
time because it's awesome.
Yeah, it's like pow, 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 pow.
All right, and that guy's gone.
Love it.
Yeah, and it's there are guns in the world. I can't remember. Did Metal Gear Solid 4 have that, where you would just find guns on the ground?
Yeah, Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid 4 had that.
Something I'm a big fan of is just the way you can take advantage of the environment. So he grabs a sniper rifle, hops up top, lies down to get a better view, busts out the wrong gun because it's hard to play video games. But now he has a good view, right? And he's just able to unleash. And this, I mean, just to your point about Call of Duty before, this is very Call of Duty, where
Yeah, absolutely.
waves of guys, explosives, sniping, you're far away, you're fairly safe.
And, some people might say, oh, that's not Metal Gear. You might be frustrated with that. But, that was even an element to a degree in Metal Gear Solid 4. And, as much as I love stealth more than I like going guns blazing and just about any game that gives me the option,
Right.
I think it's important, and this is something that Metal Gear Solid 4 really nailed for me, it's really important that when stealth falls apart and it starts to become a real firefight, it should still be fun.
Yeah, you need to be reactive. You
Yeah.
need to understand, like, okay, I made a mistake. This is how
Okay,
I'm
now
going
we're about to see
adapt
something
it.
really awesome, I think, here. Oh, no, okay,
Yeah.
no, it's the next takedown. So this is another example of how the dynamic CQC. So you see this in the middle of the combo. So now, depending on the buttons you press, you can be in the middle of a CQC combo and then actually just disarm someone and then use their weapon against them. And I think that's just so fluid and
Yeah.
allows you to be so dynamic with the combat.
Dude is getting his ass beat right
Oh
now.
yeah, he's getting plugged from all sides.
Again, the lock-on system here is kind of bothering me. He just points at guys and just effortlessly takes them down. Which,
It's like GTA 5 aggressive,
right, yeah.
in terms of how sticky it is. I hope that there is an option to turn
I'm
that
sure
off.
there is. It could also just be for the sake of a demo of showing off what
Right,
the
that could be
is.
too. Like I'm wondering, okay, now this is important too. Now you see, if you back up just a little bit there,
Yeah, his chopper has arrived.
the chopper is there, but you can see it's taking fire from two sides. So now if you keep going, now he goes around the corner, and what does he see? He sees an AA nest.
Oh, the
taking
chopper
it down.
goes
Now the chopper's
down.
down. So that's something you got to think about when you're gonna call for extraction. You actually want to clear your LZ to a certain
Right.
degree first, so that you don't lose your chopper. 'Cause
Also,
that has
generally good
ramifications.
advice: don't call it into a military base.
Exactly. Maybe don't place it down in the
think
middle of a
about
place
that.
you're trying to sneak through, because
Yeah.
it kind of gets people to notice you.
Be aware of your surroundings in general, people. That's my life advice for you. Just take in the world around. He's getting slaughtered
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
he's absolutely getting plugged.
I do like this this lie down technique, like Max Payne 3 style, where you hit the ground and you can just swivel and roll around, and it's good.
That's not one but two Remedy games we've brought up now.
Man, why don't we just keep comparing this to all the other video games? And I feel like people are going to think we're being disparaging. We're really not. I think it's great to see Metal Gear Solid finally modernizing itself. 4 was a great attempt at that, and I think we're seeing a lot of Kojima Productions kind of understanding what it needs to do to make this more relevant in 2014, 15, 17, whenever this comes out.
whenever it finally graces us. And I just want to say I am terrible at knowing about video games, because I definitely said 2 Remedy games. It's 2 Rockstar games. My bad, everyone.
What was it?
Wow.
GTA?
GTA 5 and Max Payne.
Want to throw a Red Dead comparison in there? Look at these nice mountains. Just beautiful.
And the color palette is very RDR as well.
Yeah. So this is the middle of a big fight, and we're going to see a look at Snake as a. If you want to keep going back to the Panther, he's about to haul ass out of here.
Oh yeah,
Homeboy's got some speed now.
The first time I saw this part of the demo, I thought maybe that when they were doing the TGS demo, they had fast forwarded it just for the sake of brevity.
He's just busting
But
out
that's
of there.
actually
I'm out. Later.
Wow.
He's
That's
mobile.
some 80s action movie
Yeah,
jumping off the
exactly.
bridge as it explodes behind you stuff right there.
I mean, what we're about to see here is really
Is
80s action movie as well,
absolutely.
right? Bust out
This
the
is
C4
very exciting.
and just drop it on the ground. We'll throw some right there. And this is like the most perfectly timed escape ever. He just sees the tank coming and gets ready with the C4. Detonates.
Boom!
Oh, a tank's coming.
Hang
I'm about
off
to
the
just
edge.
jump off a cliff. I love that dude flying out of there. Like, just this poor soul floating aimlessly into the
Oh,
sea.
buddy.
No.
You are not long for this world. You're going for a ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's. What do you think, Vince? How
I
are you
mean-
feeling about this game?
Well, I definitely like how much of an open world not open world, but I like how sandboxy it is. I like how driving a vehicle, for instance, is an element.
Right, you can just hop in it.
Yep, you
And
can just hop in, calling the chopper for extraction and for support. Basically, having to assess situations from all sides. Also I think that there's a degree to which this feels a little more set piece-ish and a little more actiony.
I mean, it closes
in
with a
parts.
straight up slow motion action movie shot, and
So-
it's with tons of explosions on the way out.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't necessarily have a big problem with that. I mean,
Me either.
I think it's a good mix of being streamlined and focused, along with giving the player agency and freedom. I think if they balance those two things well, I think it'll be really, really exciting.
I agree. Well said, my friend. Vince, thank you for your time and for showing us around Metal Gear Solid 5.
Always a
Phantom
pleasure, Mitch.
Pain, Ground Zeroes, whatever this monster is called. We're going to have a whole lot more for you on this game and many more on IGN.